All right. And my microphone is actually working this time, but not the music. It wouldn't be a Legion stream or an Airlock Podcast episode at this point. Oh, there it goes. Cool. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good day, good day, pilots of the TIE Corps and guests alike. Welcome once again to the Airlock Podcast. Today is episode 22. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to get some water here for a second. Damn. Excuse me. Tis be Florida in the summer. May have swallowed a bug. I don't know. Yep, so tonight we are once again back at it with the podcast schedule. Let's be clear. There is no schedule. It's whenever the actual heck me, Jet, and Vapen are free. And not even then, it's pretty much whenever I can run this because I'm the only one with the software. So, damn. Alright. Can whatever's like stuck in my throat just go away? Yep, I see I see a few people in the chat. Thank you, Luna Lupa, for the tier 1 resub to the Twitch channel. Apologies if I sound weird when I say that. I know usually when I'm streaming normally on this channel, I'm more excited and I call people by their names if I actually know them. But since this is actually being recorded and going to be used for the Emperor's Hammer YouTube channel, gotta be a little bit more fancy about it, even though we've done it before and no one stopped me. So, I also see the many members of the pilots of the TIE Corps, and I can talk in good grammatical sentences. Also, just real quick FYI, the rumor come out, does JetMech is sus. So, and Rancor. If you want to take a look at the newsreel, I might have added a few funny Easter eggs. Don't worry about it. Anyway, also apparently Marenta lost $20. Anyway, so we're back at it again, episode 22, and all right, so we're gonna get right back at it. I'm gonna undeafen and unmute myself. There we go, and of course it is. There it goes. And I have with me today, we just have Major JetMech. We unfortunately do not have Vapen, and I just realized his name has not been changed on the screen. Shoot, he is going to yell at me. It's fine, we'll fix it live. How you doing, Jet?
We'll do it live.
Yep.
Major indeed. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Right. So, I was gonna say, like, it's been a funky rank ride for you, from captain to admiral, back to captain to major. It's like, where are we going here?
It has been. There's been some whiplash there for sure, but glad to be where I'm at, and glad to be serving with Theta and on board the Warrior. It's been a good ride. So.
Good. So yes, tonight the rumor come out. Does JetMech is sus?
Yes. Yes. Although evidently still not as strong with a sus as some, but yeah, absolutely. Nothing like killing your friends in Among Us for a good time.
I am so glad that I can actually get that game to work again on my PC. Longest time it just kept kicking me out because of a network error, and I got salty about it, I will admit. And apparently the hide and seek mode, God, that's an absolute fright, horror, and fun time.
It is so good. The tension is so good. And apparently, I've been playing it without music on, so evidently I've been missing out on like a good solid quarter of that the suspense there. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, I need to probably turn the music back up. It's just so hard to hear all the chat and everything, and honestly, it's distracting
Yep.
because you know, I get distracted listening to the music. So,
Yep. All right. So today, not really. We're taking a different approach this time. I feel like while we had the preset talking points listed out, it still felt too. What's the word? Scripted. Felt too scripted, and while folks are okay with that, I wanted to try out a different approach this time and just kind of half freeform it. What do I mean by this? Everybody gets to write out their own talking points that they want to push out, and we go from there. So let's start with you. Damn it, I was about to do it again. Let's start with you,
close.
Jet.
Close. Stopped yourself.
I did.
So I want to start out doing a recap of Remob, if that's all right, or Remob, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, as I say, so let's actually squash this. Talk about this, Remob or Remob, because I have actually heard it both ways, and the only reason why I kept saying Remob is because I've heard it said more as Remob, but Remob, because it's remobilization, also works.
It would seem to me that Remob is the approved, accepted pronunciation, but in my mind, I'm in my brain, I'm shortening remobilization so that long O comes in there where it probably doesn't belong.
Right.
So, do you mind if I run through where everybody landed in Remob real quick?
Go for it. Go for it.
All right, so everyone had a really good showing during Remob. Really nice work to all the pilots out there in the TIE Corps who participated. Thank you so much. It always makes for a good event when you see good numbers going up. But special congratulations goes out to Lambda and Roe for hitting all the tiers across the board. That's quite the accomplishment. A lot of teamwork involved there. Very nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
And a special mention to Spectre Squadron for hitting 30, I believe is where they landed. I've got them as 30 and up, but I think they were right at 30, which is pretty awesome.
Quick side note, eventually, apparently, for the longest time, they were at like, what, 13 or 10? And out of nowhere, they just sprung up to 30 or whatever the number you said, that very high number. It was literally out of nowhere. So definitely amazing work to Spectre.
Awesome work. In the 20 and up club were Alpha, Gamma, Theta, and Typhoon. And then the 10 and up club, we had Epsilon, Raven, Tempest, and Thunder. Your very own Thunder. Very nicely done, 10 and up. So you get to choose your new squadron objective if you want to do that.
Which is not happening. We will always be the assassins.
Yeah, why would you ever give that up, right?
Yeah.
So, but excellent work across the board. Very nicely done to all who participated. It was really, really awesome to see people out in the voice chats and getting some games in. It was outstanding.
Yeah. Lee, Thunder's original goal, we really wanted to get a TIE advanced flight, so we really needed to get 30, but I will say, even with all the problems we had, real life kicked our butts big time during remobilization. More so than we wanted. We had several pilots having to be forced into the reserves. One had to voluntarily go to the reserves because I'm not actually going to get into it. Their real life situation became super critical, and I even advised them, you need to focus on real life, especially with matters that they were dealing with that were close to the heart. So yeah, it was just an unfortunate string of events that it got to a point there was only like 4 or 5 of us running it, and even then we were already getting burnt out at the very beginning.
Hey, you guys cracked 10 though. There's nothing to sneeze at there. You guys did a good job. And really, it's this is one of those. I like Remob a lot because it's not a competition. It's teamwork, and it's working with your squadron, and it's getting to know people in your squadron that maybe you don't play with all the time, which is awesome. So it's a good opportunity to get to know your squad mates, and to me, it's a good precursor to RTF, which is just down the road here a little ways, which is our raise the flag, because I know we want to steer clear of using too many
Uh,
acronyms, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's coming down the pipe in a big way like a freight train, and it's good to get to know your squad mates ahead of that, because then you know who's playing what and who you can call on. And Remob's just a great opportunity in the summer when when you can play some games and try some different modes and things. It's just a good time all around. But you guys did a great job in Thunder. There's nothing to sneeze at
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, we had the original plan. Surprisingly, so real quick, if I could just sidetrack for how Thunder was approaching this, um, there was only going to be two of us that were going to be working on the fiction task. Myself and Drummer. I was gonna actually take up the majority of it. Certain things came up, and I couldn't actually get any of it at all. So I thought, well, we were gonna get any of the fiction tiers done, and then Drummer, like a savant, came up with 6,000 over 6,000 words, just short of the 8,000, out of nowhere. He felt so bad that he couldn't get to the 8,000. I'm like, dude, you did 6,000 plus words in a matter of days. Why do you think you feel like you failed? You did amazing. And it was he did outstanding work. Our XO Bone Bolt, he also did amazing work with our wiki pages. Helped out as well, but not as much as he did. And essentially, that was the original goal. Like, I was gonna be going through every possible task to help out, and then specialize in the single player parts of the tasks that we had. While I did the majority of it, I still couldn't get the most. Again, real life kicked my ass. Um, but yeah, everybody had specific parts, specific tasks they were going for. Grendel was going for the 15 kills. Bone heading over to the wiki and helping out with the PvP tasks. Same thing with Drummer and Ryu, with the PvP tasks, but Drummer was more focused or specializing in the fiction. Everything else, the battle design, I had one, but I fell short. I couldn't get into it in time, and yep, as I've said, real life just kicked us in the teeth, kicked me more in the teeth, and I felt like I held everybody back. But they kept saying, no, you took too much, and maybe in the future, who knows? Who knows what will happen? How did Theta approach their squad remobilization?
Honestly, we jumped in and we kind of we tinkered with some things right off the bat just to kind of see what worked best. But more often than not, it wound up being well. So it ended up being Vapen and Tyrion and some of our other members doing the lion's share of the work on the single player side. So very nice job there. Those guys absolutely put in the hours and hours to get us up to the single player missions and battles completed. So thank you to everybody in Theta who contributed to that. That being said, I did not. I just could not bring myself to load in a single player mission this month. It just wasn't in the cards to sit down and hash those out. But yeah, the multiplayer side of it, it really just ended up being we would jump in VC and say, hey, what do we think tonight? And sometimes it was Battlefront PvE, sometimes it was 1v1 in squadrons, which ended up being a lot of fun. Vapin and I able to kind of challenge each other a little bit there, which was good. Because I'm not that great of a player, so for a lot of people, I would just be a seal flying around out there. So it's nice to play a match against somebody who I'm not getting crushed. And he claims that he did not, but I contest that he absolutely let me win some of those. So at any rate, I appreciate that. Boost my ego a little bit. But and then a lot of Starfighter Assault for that 15 plus kill count. Big fan of Starfighter Assault. A lot of fun in that in Battlefront 2. Definitely an underrated mode, in my opinion. I think that it doesn't get enough love, and there's a lot of hate for it out there because it can be a little on the sweaty side, but it's a good time, and it's a little more arcadey, which is more up my alley than Squadrons is. So.
Yeah, I can understand the sweat side of it. Some people not liking it, but at the same time, name me a game in today's day and age that isn't at this point that has a competitive PvP.
I was gonna say Slime Rancher, but that doesn't.
I was gonna say competitive PvP. Yeah, I was gonna say let me finish up the sentence before you start throwing that out. I'm still addicted to that game. I'm so addicted to that game. I can't stop.
But you're right. You know, if there's a competitive side of things, you're gonna get people that dig in with, you know, get in there with both feet and really want to learn the mechanics and really learn the game well, and that's the nature of competitive play, right? So, which is why it's fun, right? And because people like that have figured out all the nuance, and that's why games stay alive. Sometimes past their expiration date, which is something that happens, unfortunately, with good competitive games occasionally.
That's actually where I wanted to start my first talking point. One that actually got suggested by over 7 people throughout the Thai Corps wanted me to bring this up as a talking point. It's actually also on the newsreel. Star Wars Squadrons. Dead game, dying game, is there any hope? I was gonna say go for it. What you got?
I don't think it's a dead game. I think that it's going to wind up very much like X-Wing Alliance, XVT, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy. Those games that, yes, the general populace is probably not going to queue on any given night for matches, but it's going to have the cult following that those games have earned and that Squadrons has earned because of its level of its skill ceiling and its level of engagement.
So you're thinking more. So it's going to turn out to be like the retro games that we use today, a niche cult classic.
Yep, I think it's going to be very community dependent, much like Ranger's saying there. It's going to be alive through the community that's developed around it, and less dependent upon random people jumping in and joining the game, and it'll be people who are truly passionate about the game that are sticking with it and are providing matches and providing support for new players and things like that. That's where it's gonna continue to thrive, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking somewhat the same. Though I will say that I originally also had the thought that it will probably still have about 1 or 2 more dips in, and I have to use this word carefully here, active membership, till it gets to a point where it's just gonna have that plateau of people constantly playing it. What do I mean by this? So, in the video game industry, most people know about this. Not the general folks that just pick up a game and play. You have these moments in a video game's life, depending on the type of game, of course, where you'll see spikes of people joining and then, like a roller coaster, it dropping. What I mean by plateau is it'll stay consistent over a long period of time, and the way it's no longer being actually, that's the other thing. To say that it's not supported is incorrect, because it's still being run on EA servers, much like Battlefront 2, heck, even Titanfall 2, even after that whole debacle. So not to say not supported, but not being taken care of when it first came out. The fact that it's still running, definitely going to be kept as a niche game, a cult classic, much like X-Wing Alliance, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. But like how soon it still came out, it's still, in terms of the video game industry, still somewhat fresh of a release compared to the other retro games. I'm still thinking that there, like I said, gonna be 1 or 2 more drops in the active membership of the game, and then yeah, it's gonna start plateauing to with that amount that you said, that community that wants to keep it alive and keep it going and have fun with each other. As Ranger was also saying about the whole dogfights and all that, that's gonna be where that plateau starts.
Agreed. And Ranger and his recruiting office team have been doing a fantastic job of making sure that the outreach is out there and making sure people know that there's someplace they can come play the game with people who want to play the game with them. And yeah, yes, it might be custom matches and things like that, but that's the fact that EA gave us that tool to be able to make custom matches really gives this game a lot more legs than even Battlefront has, where unless you want to get into the modded server side of things, it's going to be it's going to be difficult to give Battlefront a lifeline after EA stops providing server support.
And knowing EA, I mean, EA, EA is a flawless company where nothing can go wrong. Are they still listening?
They're always listening.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I really hope they will do to Star Wars Squadrons like they did with several other titles we won't mention. But yeah, I do hope that it does stay alive with the community that we have in it already. But yeah, it was interesting getting that many TIE Corps pilots from across all 3 battle groups to suggest that as a topic for the podcast, because to me, usually to folks that would indicate that, oh no, a game that's being called a dead game or dying game means that it's about to end. It's like, no, to me what I'm seeing here is a legitimate concern for of members for the greater community as a whole, because the majority of us currently are in the TIE Corps because of Star Wars Squadrons and Battlefront 2. At least, yeah, I would say the majority. There's still those that come in here for the retro games and all that, for Star Wars: The Old Republic and all that. But yeah, just for the fact that I got that many people across all 3 of the battle groups, all 3 of the existing battle groups, to suggest that means that there is a general concern, and that yes, there will still be a community that keeps it alive, or at least as long as possible.
I think provided that someone comes up with a way to host, do server support and things like that, like they've done with other games in the past. Other EA games, really, come to think of it, all the old Battlefront titles that are, or Battlefield titles that are no longer supported, that provide custom servers, and Battlefront that has its custom server, and I cannot for life remember the name of it now, but they have their custom server, Kyber.
Kyber, yeah, as I say, I just looked it up, Kyber.
That allows for custom servers, as long as people are willing to put in the work. And Squadrons is one of those games that has that community built around it, that has those people who are tech savvy enough to be able to do the mod work and do the work to provide that game with a place to live when and if EA decides that they don't want to support it server side anymore, which it does happen. It doesn't happen as often, but we definitely see things like you mentioned Titanfall, which is another EA title that yes, the servers
2.
are up.
Titanfall 2
sorry,
specifically, yeah.
Titanfall 2, the servers are still up, but there's not as much processing power devoted to running those servers as there is for, say, Battlefield 2042 or FIFA or the latest Madden or what have you. And that is the nature of the beast, right?
Yeah,
The
it
processing power and server space comes at a premium, and when they have to provide space for the more popular titles, that's what they're going to do.
yeah. EA insert sports name game will get the priority more than any other, unfortunately. But there's still a chance for the others. And like, okay, so we you talked about community service. So Kyber for Battlefront 2, and with Titanfall 2, North Star. North Star is the new community server for that. So that also brings me a bit of a hope for Star Wars Squadrons, because if games like Titanfall 2, which ran way past its prime and it's still being played consistently today, same thing with Battlefront 2. Why wouldn't someone bring up a new community-based service for Star Wars Squadrons? It will eventually come out. I guess it just hasn't got to the point where folks can get it out yet.
Yep, and that support will be there, and I know it will, because I've seen the community, and I'm in the subreddit, and just in this community here, our TIE Core, our Emperor's Hammer TIE Core. I know that support will be there from somebody, right? And that's I mean, if we look at all the tools that are common in use now and the amount of support we provide to uh, projects that are revitalizing the old games too, there's a huge amount of people within the TIE Corps that are supporting those, like the TIE Fighter project to convert it over to
Uh,
the X-Wing Alliance upgrade.
the
Gosh,
total conversion TIE Fighter.
that's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
TFTC. That's correct. Thank you.
Yep.
So there's a huge amount of people in the community that are focusing on making that a thing. There's nobody that's getting paid to do that, right? They do it out of the love of the game, and
No. Yeah.
there's a huge amount of people who really love Star Wars Squadrons, and it just doesn't. It's going to continue to thrive, whether it's in its format as it exists currently, or if it gets modded and people are providing balance updates and things like that down the road as modders once it's out in the wild.
Right. Um. So yeah, there's still a chance. Star Wars Squadrons dead? No. Dying? No. Just not what it used to be, but it was always going to be like that, as is every other game. And with the community, it will be strong still. I was gonna say, what? Oh, give me another topic out here, because we pretty much went back and forth with this. What other thing you wanna hit us with?
I want to talk about the Saturday shootouts, the weekend shootouts, the TIE Corps shootouts, because there's been a rule change on that I think bears some attention. There was an announcement about it, and it's on the combat events page. But I want to talk about the. So previously, these were run for a set of hours on Saturdays, typically from a certain time to a certain time. And whatever games you get in playing with other people, you would get credit for those and earn ORAs and things like that as you went along. It's recently changed in this latest iteration of it to where now it starts at midnight GMT on Sunday, I believe, and then runs for 24 hours. So it runs from what would be 8 o'clock Eastern in the States until 8 o'clock Eastern the next day. So it provides a lot more opportunities for people in different time zones and things like that to participate. So and more opportunities for those to participate who have got a little more free time on their hands in and around the that 24-hour period. So I think that warrants drawing some attention to it, because the shootouts are a core part of the TIE Corps experience, and it's good to see it expanded and incorporate things like PvE and provide a wider time frame to where more people are able to participate.
Hmm. Yeah, I actually do want to say that that rule change, though I haven't really confirmed with our current combat operations officer, Silmore Nilo. Pretty sure when when that discussion came up was during one of our officer meetings, and was pretty much a bit of a wake up call. That we needed to start evolving how we run competitions in the core, because the way it used to be just doesn't seem to be kicking it. So the fact that he made that rule change, really good, really good. Now it's still being run on Saturdays. Let me see here. I'm trying to find it on the website, and because I'm streaming, everything likes to get slowed down on my end. I apologize for taking so long. I can't find it. I tried to find it so I can ping it on the live chat for Twitch. Do you have that, Jet? Thank you, sir. And there you go. For those on the live, watching live on Twitch, season 3. Yeah, let's see here. So, yep, every Saturday midnight GMT, extending to the following 24 hours, so that the folks from across the globe can actually have a chance instead of having to sacrifice what little time they have in a small window, if even at all.
Yep, definitely opens up some possibilities for people, because we do have a large contingent of people in Europe and in Oceania, so it's a good opportunity for everyone to have a chance to play games with people in their squadrons. And this is another good point. If you have not done the security protocol competition that Marenta put out, it is an excellent time. And it is, it's quite a lot of fun. I made it just to...
Excellent is a subjective term.
I thought it was fun.
I have not got past Rule 6.
Oh, okay. So I won't brag about hitting Rule 15 and getting my RA.
No. Go ahead. I am not going to be heard about spoilers, because, I will still continue any way I can. It's just, I don't know if it was just me just not getting it, or if the Navy has just screwed me with how I have to set specific passwords now. I don't know. I just can't get past Rule 6 at this point. A game free, a web browser, that you're supposed to make a password, and every time you pass a rule, it will add another rule that has to make you change the password again, and you're to see how far you can get. I heard one of the higher number rules at one point is just straight up a GeoGuessr.
Yep.
I don't know how that works inside a password, but hey. So yep, again, for those watching on the Twitch stream, it's right there live in on the chat. For those of you watching on YouTube, you may check them out in the competition center on the Emperor's Hammer webpage. Under the title, what was it that she wrote again? New Security Protocol, submitted by Admiral Marenta Jean. Definitely one to check out. Now, another competition I would like to have pointed out that will be ending as of this month is going to be the last season of Legion's Challenging Time Trials. For those of you who don't know what this competition is, basically, it is me in either a TIE Interceptor or A-Wing. The game is Star Wars Squadrons again. Me in either a A-Wing or TIE Interceptor, depending on the consensus choice in faction. You are to choose one ship. You're stuck with that ship for the remainder of the attempt. and you're to shoot me down 3 times as quickly as possible. Last season's map was on Yavin, which was an absolute chaotic mess because for those of you who play Star Wars Squadrons, you should know that map has no cover. So the moment I spawn, I die. Not so much this season. We are remind me what the graveyard, the Star Destroyer graveyard map is. Not the one
I don't remember.
Yeah, not the one in the storm. I want to say Sisebo. I could be wrong. Yeah, I for the life of me can't remember. I'm sure somebody on Twitch chat will type it out. We currently only have 6 contestants currently, with many more on the way. Ranger, yeah, that was. Thank you, Turtle. Yes, it is Sisebo. Ranger, unfortunately, yeah, I know. Xavier Abyss is also the Imperial or the Star Destroyer graveyard, except that is the Venator class one, and I said the one that was not in a storm. Yeah, it's the non-storm one. So yes, thank you, Turtle. It is Sisebo. We only have 6 attempts made by Kebla Omega, who is currently in the lead, Ranger, Dathka, Jet, Vapen, and Bone Bolt. And I have to point this out because I've been asked by several people to point this out for the funny meme. Get ready with your clips. Ranger made his 1 attempt and is not going to be changing his time no matter what, because in his mind and everybody's mind, this is the best time. He got, and I kid you not, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. You may resume laughing.
I don't get it.
Do you really not get it?
No, of course I get it.
Okay, I was gonna say, come on.
Holy cow! I grew up in the 2000s. Of course I get it.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's not gonna be changing it. So, I was gonna say, I'm gonna actually put out a challenge here. For the end of this season, if somebody actually manages to get this extra challenge, I will find a way to add some sort of award. Don't know what the hell it will be, but I don't know. If someone can get 4 minutes and 20 seconds and 69 milliseconds, I will jump over every hoop and call in every favor I can to get you an extra award, even if you don't win any of the top medals. Yeah, and I already see it in the Twitch channel. Apologies also for those listening on Twitch and on YouTube. My AC will be turning on at random times. I am sorry. I live in Florida. It is the dead of summer. I want to live, and I want to not have heat stroke. So yeah, I will say that again, only by the end of this month, I believe, is when it runs out. I'll double check that while I'm talking. End of this month, it will finish up. Platinum Wings, one of our rarest awards. Platinum Wings are online for this, so it would be best to get it. There's only 6 people that have participated. Definitely have a chance to win the shinies, the shiniest of shinies, or should I say the rarest of shinies. But,
I think you had it right. I think you had it right the first time. Honestly, the competition is a lot of fun. It's again, I'm not the best Squadrons player, but it was a good time getting in there, and Legion does make a difficult target to hit. And of course, you could do what some people have done and go for the longest time too, and just have that as a feather in your cap. It may not be a bad thing to do.
So
I've heard it's an enjoyable experience for all involved.
So I want to go outside here. Marenta, I know you're listening. Someone wanted to legitimately beat your longest time, and I straight up denied them. Because I am sorry, if someone beats your longest time, which I still have recorded here, this was back in season 1 when Marenta was still a colonel aboard the challenge. And I remember the build. It was a TIE Reaper. I remember the build. She tried to joust me, which, for those of you who don't know what that means, it's literally to run into a person. Didn't use lasers. 12 minutes, 32.37 seconds. It was agony. And I heard someone wanted to beat that, and I straight up denied them. I was like, no, because if somebody beats her time, she's gonna want to come back just to make it even longer. I cannot rip out any more hairs on my head, please.
So it seems like you've got a couple that are ready to jump in there and participate because of this. So it may not be a bad thing. Get some more people flying in the comp.
We got 23 days left for this competition, and once this ends, that's it. There's gonna be no more time trials, or at least none for quite some time. So this is the last attempt. These last 23 days that you two can possibly earn the Iron Star Platinum Wings. Again, not an easy award to get, and because it's on Sisebo, there's definitely a chance. So, and another thing, while you're shooting me down, you have to shoot me down 3 times as quickly as possible. I do not fire back. All I do is run away, and I don't even have countermeasures enabled. You may use whatever build you want to use. Just know that every time you shoot me down, I get progressively more annoying with my evading. To a point where on the final life that I have, I use the sensor jammer. That has earned quite a reputation with some pilots of with me being the most annoying Star Wars Squadron player, apparently. But yeah, there you go. 23 days left for the Legion Challenging Time Trial Season 4. The shootouts actually it started today. And it hasn't finished yet. It's going to be finishing up tomorrow. And the security protocol. What other competitions are you looking forward to?
Well, there's another competition on that I want to draw attention to because it's got a month and some change left on it, and that's the INN broadcast. Emperor's Hammer TIE Corps Wants You that Genie's putting on. Looking for promotional videos, and there's been a few that have been posted to the TIE Corps YouTube website that I'd love to see some more people get out there and flex their creative muscles. And then obviously and Ranger brings up a good point, we have the SWTOR competition going on now as well, which if I recall, and I'm going to have to take a look here, I think if you're just getting in and playing the game, you can really get an opportunity to participate there.
I was about to say, is this the Conquest 2 competition? Because that only has 15 days.
No.
I may be reading the wrong one here. Okay.
No, the Conquest 2 only has 15 days left, but the no, I've lost it. The INN broadcast one lasts until the 1st of September.
That one. Yeah.
Genie, Ranger, and Ossus are going to be the ones who are taking a look at the content and posting it to the YouTube channel for folks to see and get an opportunity to enjoy with their fellow pilots. So it's a good opportunity too. So for those of you who are into video editing or streaming and and want to clip some things out of your videos and maybe do a voiceover, it's a good opportunity to do that. So really excellent stuff that's being produced out there, and some people are just extremely talented with it.
Yeah. Um, I was gonna say we also started to have shorts, YouTube shorts on our channel. We definitely should check them out. I also have it under good authority, and I have to bring this up because I fell out of my chair when a certain somebody who had just popped into the Twitch chat has notified me that I am apparently going to be an Easter egg for every video he does from this point forward, which I find that absolutely amazing. Please, please keep doing that. We should also someone make it a competition. Where in the Star Wars universe is Legion Ordo? The Emperor's Hammer's take on Carmen Sandiego. I cannot believe I'm now being reduced to a freaking red hat cartoon character.
There are worse cartoon characters you could be reduced to.
I mean, that is also true.
Last thing I want to talk about, the newest iteration of Squadron Management has gone live. That is now SM6 that is out there. So for those of you who are interested in leading a squadron of your very own, that is going to be a prerequisite for you to be a squadron commander.
I'm
so
not the only one that flubs up words.
all the time, all the time. So that's out there. There's been some changes to some of the content there, and some updates that bring us into the next iteration of it there. So I would encourage everybody who's interested, and maybe if you're even not, go ahead and take a look. It'll give you some insight into what your commanders are dealing with on a day-to-day basis or month-to-month basis, so you have an idea of what they're looking for. And it gives you an idea of what's involved in that job, because it's honestly, it is an incredibly rewarding experience becoming a squadron commander. So if anybody out there has got interest in doing it, I encourage you to go ahead and take the course. It is a little involved. It is going to take you some time. I would set aside a couple hours to work your way through it, but it's a worthwhile endeavor, and getting to see the people in your squadron do well and promote and all those great things, there is very little that is as rewarding as that. So it is one of the best jobs in the TIE Corps. If it's something that's interesting to you, or you have questions about it, reach out to your commander or your leadership, and they'll be happy to help you through it and help you understand what's involved. But it's a lot of fun, and I encourage everyone to do it if they have the time to devote to it.
Want to also take this time to thank the team that helped put it together. I was the first one to bring this up because here's some insight, here's some history about it. So for the longest time, everyone in the officer meetings, we kept wanting to make Squadron Management 6 for the longest time. I think almost since the first day it got brought up, when the IU was finally getting redone and reawakened, the talk about SM6 has been in almost every single commander meeting up to the point where we finally got it live. So I kept hearing about people wanting to make it constantly. Everybody had great ideas. I'm like, all right, that's fine, guys. How about we actually go ahead, sit down, and actually make it? No one was doing it. So it's like, you know what? No more talk. It's time for action. Started writing it out and realized very quick, this is not a one-person job. This definitely needs multiple people. So I brought in JetMech and Vapen, along with Robert Hogan, and Silas, who is our current training officer, oversaw it, made sure everything was up to speed, up to par, and a great many people as well that we got suggestions on what to write in there have also been credited. Both currently active and reserves alike. It was an amazing endeavor, and I just want to thank everybody who was involved, including you, Jet. Thank you so much for finally making this project reach the light of day. because for the longest time I thought it wasn't going to.
I'm just happy to have the opportunity to be a part of it.
Yeah. And yes, when upon completing this course, for those of you wondering, for your ID lines and for a certain graduate course, I'm trying to find, I forgot which one it was tied. Your ID lines when you finish this course will have the additional SM6 added to the very end, notifying everybody that you have not only taken but completed the course. For those concerned about, I can't find the certificate course. One of the certificates requires you to take SM5 in order to complete it, or it did. However, with SM6 now active, it not superseded. It replaced SM5, and folks were getting worried. Well, wait, I didn't take SM6 yet. If you remove that from the certificate, you're no longer going to get the certificate. Untrue. Thanks to the quick work of both Silas and Turtle, that was immediately rectified and fixed. For those who took the certificate course that required SM5 and hasn't taken SM6, do not panic. You still have your certificate. We still urge you to take SM6, just to, keep yourself updated. But you do not need to worry about losing a certificate and having to retake it all over again.
And Jaden was kind enough to put in the chat that it is a certificate of naval doctrine that is dependent upon that.
There we go.
Thank you for that. Thank you for helping us out there, because we were scrambling, so that was very helpful. Thank you.
Oh no! What? I also noticed that the bot. Let me guess. You put in a link there, Jaden. I guess that would be a good time to let everybody know in the Twitch chat. While we have been putting links in the chat, only a select few are allowed to do that. This is just to keep security measures for Twitch chat, because we know the internet is a scary and dangerous place. I apologize. Yes, we do have a bot looking at the chat as well, and we don't want malicious links being posted anywhere. That's why it purged the chat immediately upon it posting. So if you want to share a league, make sure before you do so, send it to one of the moderators in chat. There's always going to be at least one moderator, someone somewhere. Make sure to message them, ask them if this is okay, and they will more than likely be more than willing to be the one to post it for you. Or otherwise, the bot's gonna have fun with you, and we don't want that. But yes, it is a certificate of naval doctrine that required the SM5, and now with SM6 active, again, you don't need to worry. You still have your certificates. That has not been taken away. So, yeah, I honestly enjoyed working, making SM5 or SM6, excuse me, with everybody. I honestly, it felt. You know that sensation when you make a project, it's completed, everybody looks at it and gives a thumbs up, and it just feels right. Do you ever get that feeling, or am I just crazy here?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, this was definitely one of those moments. It felt absolutely right to get this done. As much as I loved the debates happening in the Officers Club, it gets to a point we need to stop discussing it, because we've discussed it plenty, and we need to actually take action. What else do we got on the docket here? You got anything?
I think I've covered everything I care to cover tonight.
Okay. Of course, on my last notes, I have Rancor. Great help past me. Great help. All right. I am tapped out here. If anybody in the Twitch has any questions, now would be the time while we just mindlessly banter here for a few minutes while they type it out. That's another thing. For something I should have actually put in the newsreel. I want to congratulate two new COOAs, Combat Operation Office Assistants. We have the former Combat Operations Officer, now Colonel Miles Prower, who had joined us in the office, who's going to help with the workload, as well as Lieutenant Spartan. You're gonna have to forgive me. I have tried every possible time to read out this Chiss name, and I just cannot. I do not know how to properly pronounce Chiss titles. So, Lieutenant Spartan, congratulations once again in joining the office as an assistant. Okay, hang on. In the chat, third Gen Nuru Odo. We just call him Jenny. Okay. Yeah. So, also want to be also being reminded by our recon officer. Make sure to check out our social medias all over the place. Facebook, Instagram, the new Threads. Is that the new thing that's being called Threads?
Yep, that is the new Instagram. It is Instagram, I believe, thing. But yeah, it's I believe it is their response to Twitter. So yeah, definitely give them a follow, and follow them on all the socials if you haven't. Lots of good stuff going out there, squadron highlights and things like that are a lot of fun, and obviously all the shorts and things like that.
Yeah. Now I gotta ask: is Threads like a separate entity from Instagram, or is it just a new evolution of Instagram?
I believe it is separate, but I am old and not in touch, so.
Okay. You didn't have to say it that way.
Well, gotta own it.
Product of Meta. Is that another social media thing that I'm not aware of?
That's the Facebook parent company.
Ah, okay, that's the company. Gotcha. Also, for those of you wanting to know, when in the absolute heck is Ranger going to be on the show? Next time. I promise you. I promise you we will get him on the show, as I said how many freaking months ago at this point. So changes are going to be being made in the next couple of weeks, so I'm probably not going to be able to get an episode out shortly, but I can guarantee that the absolute next one, without question, even if we have the co-host here, he will be part of it, and we'll have a 4-person podcast. I don't care. We are getting Ranger on this show next time. Mark my words, clip it if you have to, hold me accountable if you must. I will not stop until this is actually done at frickin' last.
Yay.
And absolutely not, Wolf. This is not the last podcast. Dude, I was gonna say, no matter where I'm going, this is not a Thai Corps podcast. While I do say good day Thai Corps pilots, this is an EH. This is for everybody. Everybody in the organization. Wherever I go, so long as it's within EH, it stays. So this is happening no matter what. Ranger says, nah, fam. Ranger is the one that kept saying he wanted to do it. So I once again, Beretta, I'm calling sus, even though Jet is the sus one. At this, okay, which one of you two are the sus ones, really?
So, I clung to that because it's yeah, I clung to that nickname or that call sign because I liked it and it was earned at the time. Although the original sus is my BG com for sure.
Beretta. Even though, okay, we need. We need to find a way to track win-loss ratios for every imposter, because I really think there's several people that have been imposters that have higher win ratios than Marenta. They really need to be the ones called out as sus. The unofficial, official TC and or EH podcast hosted by Legion. Yes. Wait. Unofficial, official? Pretty sure it's official at this point. Would you say it's official, Jet?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yep, I would say so.
Yeah. Alright. Battle stats for Among Us. I mean, is it possible? Possibly. What else? That literally is the last bit of my notes, so I think we could just go ahead and start calling it for today, unless you got anything last minute, Jet.
Nope, just happy to have been here, and thanks for having me on board, and it's good to get to chat with everybody today, and as always, I would say if you got questions or things you want submitted or covered in the next Airlock podcast, submit them to Legion, Vapen, or myself, and we'll make sure they get on the docket.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And along with Ranger, we'll make sure Vapen gets in on the next episode as well. But either way, I'm gonna start the deafening process. I will be right back, Jet, unless you need to get head out.
I'll be here.
All right, I'll be right back. All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be tonight's episode. Thank you, everybody who has stopped on by. You know what? No, I'm gonna hold that announcement until the next episode. I do have an announcement, a personal announcement, about myself within the org. But I now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that until I feel the time is right. Apologies. I know I just hyped y'all up and I shouldn't have, but you know, it's fine. Y'all get to hear next time. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for stopping on by. My name is Legion, and we'll be back not next week, but the week after, unless we can somehow plan it earlier thanks to fortunate timing. We will be back on in a week and a few days. How about that? We'll aim for that. Either way, stay safe, stay well, drink plenty of water. I gotta stop fusing words together. And as always, Rancor. Good night. Bye-bye.